Vanderbilt University, the alma mater to some great football players. There's Zach Stacy, Jordan Matthews, Andre Hall, Jake Cutler, Dansby Swanson, David Price. What? Those last two guys were baseball players. Really? Yeah. My bad. Vanderbilt University has won national championships in 2014 and as recently as 2019. Those were also the baseball team, bro. Really? Yeah. Damn. What have they done in football? They've won 14 conference titles. Really? They've won the SEC 14 times? Well, I never said they won the SEC. I mean, but they are 4-4-1 in bowl games. Okay, that's cool. At least they're 500. But they lost the last two straight. Okay. And their overall record is 606, 629, and 50. Yikes. What's good, everybody? It's your boy UncleSamsReject here, and welcome to our brand new Vanderbilt series here on the channel, man. And if it's your first time ever seeing one of my videos, if you're looking for good NCAA 14 content, this is the place to be. Consider subscribing, and we'll run it up together. But now, here we are, guys. You heard the intro. Vanderbilt hasn't been good in a lot of years, man. You know, they've been a laughingstock of the SEC pretty much every single year. And we're trying to change that around. And, you know what I'm saying, we're trying to build this team to, you know, go from a baseball school to a football powerhouse. Now, this is going to be different than all of our other rebuilds. We're actually going to, you know, add some restrictions in. That's actually going to make this rebuild a little bit tougher, add longevity, you know what I'm saying, and just flat out make things interesting. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the rules on the screen here now, read them, and explain them to you guys. So, rule number one, we cannot change our schedule. And the reason for that being is, you know, as time goes on, you know, if you're in certain conferences or you're looking for certain games, you could just add a bunch of ranked teams on your schedule, beat them all. That way, you're pretty much guaranteed to be #1 in the nation if you go undefeated or only lose one game and get into the national championship. It won't be that bad here with Vanderbilt since we're in the SEC and our schedule is going to be pretty hard all the time anyway. But we want to keep it, you know, as the computer-generated schedule every single season. The next rules are recruiting restrictions. The first one here, we can only recruit guys whose top 5 that we are in. Meaning when we go in the preseason and add guys to our recruiting board, if we are not in their top 5, we cannot add them to our board. Secondly, we can only sign the number of departing seniors +2. For example, if we have 10 seniors leaving the squad, that means we can only sign 12 recruits. Next restriction, we can only scout 50% or lower on players, you know, because in college football, you know, it could be a 5-star recruit, but we never know how that guy's going to pan out until he gets on the field. Some of these guys come in as 5-star recruits and they're absolute busts, and they, you know, they're never really that good, and you can get a 3-star guy and he can be, you know, play up to a 5-star potential and just surprise you and shake things up a little bit. Next, after that, we can only sign 1 athlete per season. And the reason for that is it's too easy to sign 4 or 5 athletes and spread them throughout your roster, and they'll be better than the players that you already have on the team. You know, we want to make things difficult. We want to recruit people to play certain positions and bring them in to play that position, and if they're not that great, we have to deal with it. Next up after that, we can only sign 5 players 4-star and above. So like I said before, if we're bringing in 10 or 12 guys, only 5 of those players are allowed to be 4-star and above. Next restriction after that, we can never have more than 20 recruits on our recruiting board at one time. This is pretty easy for me because I never go over 20 recruits ever on my recruiting board. But, you know, just to hold us accountable, we're going to make it a restriction. And last but not least, back to the very first recruiting rule that we can only recruit guys in our top 5. We are allotted 2 players, you know, whose top 6 and under we are in. So, but we only get 2 of those the whole entire season. So it's not like we can recruit 2 guys whose top 5 we're not in, they choose not to come to our school, and then we move on to another, and then we move on to more guys whose top 5s that we're not in. And the reason why this is a rule is just because it's too easy also when recruiting to just wait till about week 5 or 6 and go grab all the reject, you know, gym and 5-star players that nobody wants, and, you know, make your team good quickly as possible. We want to have this series be maybe 4, 5, 6 seasons long. We want to really make it take some time for us to build a dynasty. Now, next after that, we're going to be going over the house rules here. You see everything's on Heisman, injuries on, fatigues off, because fatigue off actually makes the games a lot more difficult. 8-minute quarter length, 52 player threshold, game speed is on normal, and we're trying out these new sliders. Shout out to my boy Jake from T&J. You know, I saw him using these sliders, the J-Kit sliders, and they look pretty tough, and we want to try them out, and we want to make this pretty difficult, man. Like I said, if the more difficult we make the series, the longer of a series that it can be. So here's a look at the rule sliders and everything like that. That way we should get a lot more realistic penalties. And then custom AI user sliders, we got 5 QB accuracy, 0 pass blocking, 0 wide receiver catching, 20 running back ability, 5 run block, 40 pass coverage, 40 interception, 65 rush defense, 25 tackling, 45 field goal power, 0 accuracy, 45 punt power, 0 accuracy, and then 50 kickoff. For the computer, they also have 5 QB accuracy, 45 pass blocking, 40 wide receiver catching, 90 running back ability, 35 run blocking, 30 pass coverage, 40 interception, 90 rush defense, 25 tackling, 45 field goal power to 50 accuracy, 45 punt power to 40 accuracy, and once again, kickoff power is on 50. Now we're going to take a look at our first 20 guys on our recruiting board that we went ahead and added and everything like that. So even though I may have a bunch of 4 or 5-star guys on my board, remember, we can only sign 5 4-star or above. So we got wide receiver Scott McBride, who we're leading, middle linebacker Neil Burt, Randy Clement, free safety, 3-star guard Blake Chavis, 3-star cornerback Mike Hickman. We're going after 3 kickers. Two of these guys should fall off, you know what I'm saying, by week 3 or so. Just want to see which one of these guys bite the most. Going after 2 fullbacks. I know I can change, you know, an extra running back to a fullback, but I don't mind recruiting fullbacks. You know what I'm saying? Make it a little bit more realistic there. We're going after 2 running backs, a 4-star, 2 4-stars actually. We're going after 2 quarterbacks, 4-star Allen Chase, 4-star Deshaun Collins, another 4-star middle linebacker Justin Dunlap, Kenneth Broussard, tight end. Our 1 athlete, Justin Jew, outside linebacker Jeremy Smith, Brian Brown as a tackle, and wide receiver Chris Blunt. And then I probably should have went over this first, but we're going to go over team needs right now. You see here we have 11 total seniors leaving off of the squad, which means we can only sign 13 recruits. You know, so we may not even get that much, but we're going to finagle a little bit because, as you saw, a lot of those guys were 4-stars, and we're going to have to drop some of those off once, you know, they choose to, you know, go towards another direction in their decision-making process. But like I was saying, the positions that we need that are leaving, fullback and kicker, are the only 2. Our defensive side of the ball is set. We only have a total of 3 seniors leaving that side of the ball. Our offensive side of the ball is where we really need some help. Now here we are finally taking a look at our roster. We don't have a single 90 on the squad, and 7 of our top 10 players are all seniors. So this amount of talent on the squad will not last long. So right here we have 4 quarterbacks, a senior, 2 juniors, and a freshman. Alan Walters, he's a quarterback from New Jersey. I'm looking at the stats here, and since we're not guaranteed to bring in a quarterback recruiting wise, I think I'm going to bypass the senior and start to groom the freshman here. I know it's a little bit, you know, harsh to do that to a senior, but hey, you got to do what's best on the team. But we have 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and you know what they say, if you have more than 1 quarterback, you have no quarterback. Moving on to our running back position, we got a decent running back, senior Keyshawn Vaughn, 89 overall, 85 speed. Coming over here to some more of the skill positions, we got a senior wide receiver, 6'1", 201 pounds, Kalijah Lipscomb, another senior Justice Shelton Mosley, and everybody after, you know, we have no burners here on the outside at this receiving position. We have decent tight ends. You know what I'm saying? We got a senior, a junior, and 2 decent freshmen. A lot of these guys have been redshirted already, so it definitely sucks, you know, trying to, you know, save another year eligibility for these dudes, but it is what it is. Our offensive line isn't looking that bad. We got a bunch of lefties. We got a bunch of 80s on the left side and high 70s on the right. Kind of young here at DN. We have Malik Langham, freshman that's redshirted already. I don't remember doing that, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this red shirt and let him play. I'm not sure if maybe he's a transfer or something in real life. D tackle, we're pretty old, but we got 2 freshmen waiting in the wings to take spots here. Not that good at linebacker. The highest one we got is an 82. Our corners, 83 and 79, and they're all slow as well. So one of the main things we want to add to this team is speed. And finally, here we are at our schedule. We actually start off the season with a conference rivalry game, taking on the Ole Miss Rebels week 1. You see here our strength of schedule is a B. We got Ole Miss week 1, UAB week 2, South Carolina week 3, UMass, FCS East, Missouri, Nevada, Georgia week 8. Thank God we're at home on that game. Then we're on the road at Texas A&M. We finally get our first bye of the season week 10. Then we got Florida week 11, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then bye week 14. And if I had to guess, we probably won't be playing for the conference championship week 15. Here we are looking at the preseason polls, and we are ranked 79th in the country right now. Definitely not a good look being, you know, this low in the top 100. So we definitely have some work to do. We're a 3-star school, 83 overall, 86 offense, excuse me, and 80 overall defense. Conference outlook, we are expected to finish dead last in the SEC East. And also we are expected to finish dead last in the SEC as a whole. We do have one preseason All-American though, sophomore wide receiver CJ Bowler, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, so that's a good look. Bowler is also a preseason All-Conference player as well. Taking a quick look at the Heisman watch list, we got Connor Blumerick from Texas A&M, Ayabi Anoma from a defensive player from Alabama, wide receiver Benjamin Victor from Ohio State, Hassan Hall, freshman running back from Louisville, and Isaiah Crocker, redshirt freshman wide receiver from Oregon. 4-year outlook of championship contenders. Of course, right now we are ranked 79th. We're projected to get as high as 53 next year, and then drop down to 62 in 2015, and then 54 in 2016. Right now, our team grade is a C. So, you know, like I said earlier, we definitely have our work cut out for us. All right, you see here, the real season begins. Commodores focus on their conference opener against Ole Miss. Now, on paper, they are slightly better than us. They're a B overall, we're a B minus. We got a B to their B minus offense, and they have a B plus to our B minus defense. Kirk is rolling with us, though. So, you know, that's surprising that this early in the season, Kirk is expecting us to come out here and bump off Ole Miss. We are at home, though, so that definitely might have something to do with it. All right, so taking a look at our top 3 players to watch out for. Our running back, our wide receiver, and our tight end. And for Ole Miss, their left end, running back, and kicker are their 3 best players. And you see here, Jay Cutler comes back to his alma mater to coach his Vanderbilt Commodores here, and he's making his collegiate debut as a head coach. All right, so here we go. First play in the Jay Cutler era. Wanted to be a run. Looks like they're ready for that play. Walters doesn't like what he sees. Audibles out of the play. He's got somebody open, and he throws a dot to Pickney, one of the better players on the team, the starting tight end, 13-yard reception. Let's go. Another thing I'm going to do in this series to try to make it kind of difficult, I'm not going to pick my own plays here. I'm going to let the coordinators pick the plays, so whatever plays we get in the Axe Corso play call screen, those are the only plays that we can choose from. So here we are. 7:30 left in this first quarter. Walters back to pass. True freshman completed his first pass, and he has nobody open this time, and he's brought down for a 5-yard sack. Haven't played this game in a little minute, man, so going to be rusty 1 and 2. I got to get used to how these sliders play, but that's the beauty of it, not really being too sure, and we nearly throw an interception there. The safety was coming down hard. I thought he was in man, but he sat there and baited me up. All right, we go 3rd and 15. Need to try to pick up this first down, of course. Pickney is open. We lob it, and it's nearly picked off. Walters just doesn't put enough on the ball there. And even though we picked up 1 first down, we're forced to punt it away. All right, guys, here we are on defense. And another thing that was recommended to me to do by Jake from TNJ, you know what I'm saying? Only control 1 player on defense, which makes everything a little bit more difficult if we can't be the ultimate playmaker. And it forces us to see who's really good on defense, what players are good and whatnot, and who we need to bench and move around. So whoever I control before the snap is who I have to control the whole entire play. Now, of course, this is going to take some getting used to, especially the way I play is a really, you know, up-tempo, forced turnover style of play, but you know, it was another one of those factors that's going to make things more difficult. So right now we are getting smacked in the mouth by Ole Miss. They are driving at will here. Oh, and we get a sack. Let's go. I'm not sure if he tripped over one of his players or if we actually got in there and made a hit. 2nd and 17 here after that sack. Oh, come on, DB. Make a play, and he gets burnt, and just like that, we give up 6. All right, guys, so we're 0-2 on 3rd downs here today. This one is definitely a lot more manageable than the other 2. 3rd and 5. Looking to pick it up. Walters flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take off with his feet. He gets blocks made for him upfield, and he's going to step out of bounds, and he picks up 21. So we're across the 50, no man's land. We're going to go for it here on 4th. I feel like this is acceptable. Walters flushed out of the pocket. Trying to make a throw. He throws it in a tight window to Lipscomb. He breaks a tackle. He's across the 30 and down at the 25. 22-yard pickup. That is huge here for us on 4th down. Got one open underneath. You gotta lead him. 4th and 1. Part of me wants to go for it here and try to punch it in, but we're going to stop and settle for 3. It's early. Oh, no, we're not. Coach is actually telling us to go for it here on 4th and 1. He knows we have nothing to lose. You know, nobody wants to walk away with just 3 points here. So here we are, being gutsy to start off the season. Got one open underneath, and Walters just cannot make a throw. I'm really not sure where he was throwing that at. No pressure was in his face. He just completely, the ball must have slipped. So Ole Miss extends their lead 10-0. Senior Riley Neal is back in under center. His final year. You know, he didn't believe he should have lost the job anyway. He's flushed out of the pocket, first play of the game, and he's forced to throw it away. Nobody's open, flushed out of the pocket. He actually evades a tackle, and Riley Neal's going to pick up the 1st down and a little bit more with his feet. 17-yard rush by the senior quarterback. Unless the pocket is perfect out here, our quarterbacks just can't seem to make the throws. He's got one open off the line. It's Lipscomb. Who else? Our top receiver. He's off to the races to 10, 5, touchdown, Vanderbilt. We finally get on the board, baby. Let's go, man. We definitely needed that. Break in coverage. He beat the press. He was able to get into the end zone, baby. Let's go. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here in the 1st half. Ole Miss heads into the locker room with a 13-7 lead. They will get the rock to start off the 2nd half. But if our defense can keep doing what they're doing, they're going to keep us in the game. One thing I'm going to just have to come to terms with is, even though we did get the one big play, we're just not really a big play offense. Stupid. Oh, that's a tough throw, and what a play there by Hartsfield picking up the pick. I thought it was a good throw. But here, yet another turnover for us. Counter play, and Phillips picks up a big chunk of yards, breaks a bunch of tackles, and he's off to the races, going for 6. This drive is going well right now. See if we can keep it up. Shelton Mosley in motion there as a lead blocker. Come on, Burnham Vaughn. There we go. That's what we needed this whole time. Pickney picks up a block as well. Vaughn's off to the races, and we punching in for 6, baby. Let's go. 51-yard run by Keyshawn Vaughn there. A rare, unexpected, big-time run from the big man out of the backfield. Blocking was perfect, and we're right back in this ballgame. All right, so we need to stop here, guys. Let's go, defense. Man in motion. It's a run. We over pursued that play, and now Phillips looks like he might answer back immediately. Remember, I cannot click off to get on a player closest to him, and we finally bring him down after a 60-yard run. They keep it on the ground again, but this time Corral holds on to it, and he walks into the end zone untouched. All right, we go 2nd and 4. Got one open. It's Pinckney. He picks up a big chunk of yards, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and he's finally brought down at the 25. And we hit Lipscomb, and that dude has Stickum on his gloves. He does not drop past. All right, we go 1st and 10. Keep it on the ground to Vaughn. He has a lot of running room, and he's in the end zone once again. 15-yard touchdown run. Keyshawn Vaughn is wearing down the defense itself, showing how a big bruising back can break out. Riley's going to have to be able to make some of these tough throws, man. These throws have definitely just have to be made. There we go, trying to pick up a 1st down. Boom, we go to Lipscomb, the playmaker. Falls forward, and he's across the 30. Make that throw. Tough throw. Pinckney holding on to the rock, breaking tackles, and he's down inside the 5-yard line on the ball. Let's not even let him get set. Oh, almost nearly got him to jump off sides. Handed off to Vaughn. He gets into the end zone untouched. Let's go, baby. We're within one possession again. Okay, guys, so not only does Ole Miss lose 5 yards, they stop the clock for us. That is huge. Huge, huge, huge. It's a run. It's a counter to the outside. Oh, no, I can't switch off him. I had to switch back off. This is where I never know what the computer is going to do. They can play it either way, but it's not a lot of time left, so they might just run it. They do turn around and hand it off. Anderson is there to make the tackle, bring them down finally. And we're going to call it our second timeout with 37 seconds left here. All right, here's Bowler back to return the kick. Need a big return from him. He falls, he stays up, and he makes it to the 20. 29 seconds, one timeout. Our line isn't quite equipped for us to make the downfield throws that we may need on this drive, but let's go. Flush out of the pocket almost immediately. We'll use our legs. Picking up the first, getting out of bounds. All right, guys, we got 11 seconds. 3rd and 10. Whew. All right, here we go. Neal lets it go. It's a little bit underthrown, and it's picked off. And that is going to do it here in this one. Our 3rd interception of the game. We fought hard, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. All right, guys, so we lose our SEC and season opener here to Ole Miss. It was a great game, semi-instant classic. We got burned for almost 300 yards on the ground. Not almost 300 yards, almost 300 yards by Phillips, but they definitely had 300 yards as a whole. It just showed that we definitely had a lot of work to do. So real quick, first looking at team stats, we had more first downs. We had more total yards of offense. We ran for the same amount of yards. They ran for 318. We ran for 195. Neither quarterback played that well. We did have more passing yards. We were better on 3rd down. We were better on 4th down. They were 80% in the red zone. We were only 50. We had 3 turnovers. They had none. And time of possession, we actually dominated that, but we still, you know what I mean, just couldn't get the W. Player stats for us, Riley Neal, who came in late in the game, late in the first, I believe. 10 for 26, 195 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, only 38 completion percentage, sacked twice. Alan Walters, the true freshman who we tried to rock out with, 8 for 18, 86 yards, no touchdowns, a pick, 44 completion percentage, sacked 3 times. On the ground, Keyshawn Vaughn is our player of the game. You know what I'm saying? 22 carries, 147 yards. It didn't start off pretty, but he got going late. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground. Neal picked up 41 yards on 8 attempts. And for Ole Miss, Scotty Phillips, 24 carries, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 12 yards basically. And for Ole Miss on the ground, Scotty Phillips, 24 yards. And on the ground for Ole Miss, Scotty Phillips, 24 attempts, 282 yards, 12 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Longest run of the day was 60. 4 runs of 20 plus yards or more. And receiving for us, Kalijah Lipscomb, 7 catches, 154 yards and a touchdown. And also Jared Pinkney, 4 catches, 67 yards, but he was unable to score. Defensively for us, Caleb Pert led us in tackles with 8 all solo, 2 for loss. Alan George had 6 all solo. Dimitri Moore had 6, 5 or solo. And Brandon Harris and Colin Anderson had 5 tackles as well. We didn't catch any picks. We had 1 sack by Renomare. We had a few drop picks though. 2 from Watkins and 2 from Watkins. He dropped 2 picks, and 1 from Coppett, and the other one he actually batted away. And yeah, man, that's pretty much gonna do it there. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us here in the first episode. We got a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about the challenge, and I'm really looking forward to see where this series can take us. Hopefully you guys enjoy, man. If you did, stop and smash that like button. Hit me up in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new. It's your boy UncleSamsReject, arcadegames.com. I'm out of here. Peace.